Feel the difference with CBD Direct Oils.
CBD oils may have the health benefits for your aches and pains.
Thanks for sponsoring our show.
PDRcontractors.com, developed to connect, promote, and advance the paintless dent repair industry. Start your membership today. What's up, everybody? It's time for PDR Tool Time, episode 216 with your host Vince D'Alessandro, Daniel Grom, John Renstrom, Hudson Tanzi, and a whole bunch of other people that are not going to be joining us. Yeah, never mind. Hey. What's up?
What is this day? Is this day, what, 35 of the coronavirus shut down?
Something like that.
Dude, nothing is shut down here. My wife and I had to go to the store yesterday. It was jam-packed. I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
I wasn't scared for my health. I just hate people.
That's not nice, man. That's not nice to say when we're so jealous of that.
Well, we haven't. It was just yesterday that we were finally able to find legit toilet paper. Yesterday.
Well, there's only one legit toilet paper in the world. That's Costco.
Costco has been sold out every single time I go. Because I go every Thursdays at Costco because it's right next to my Mercedes dealership. And it wasn't until yesterday until I could find some like Charmin. We've had Scott toilet paper, and here's a confession. Here is a confession. My wife, she goes through. We have a debate in our house. I might have saw it on how much toilet paper is proper usage during a deuce. All right, I have been hiding a roll of Charmin toilet paper that I pull out when I go to the restroom because I know if I put it on there, it's going to be gone in a day.
Yeah,
in my house, so I hide it and I use it. But now I don't have to hide it anymore.
Well, maybe they're using Charmin. Charmin's good as regular tissue too. So maybe they're blowing the kids' noses.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I do the same thing at my shop. I have my good toilet paper in the cabinet, and then I have the crappy stuff on the roll. So when customers get the crappy stuff.
What do you do when you're at home there, Vince?
I have my friggin' bidet. I don't use toilet paper.
That's right.
That's the same with me, man. I put in bidet toilets. It's way better.
Okay, this show has gone to
gone straight to the crapper.
All
right,
we went right to the crapper.
All right.
No, we actually.
How was your week? So, Daniel, you posted midweek that you were shut down. The police department showed up, beat you with batons, tased you, cuffed you and stuffed you. What happened? What's the real story?
So I sat there and argued with them, of course. And, first of all, I go, well, wait a second. We're disinfecting cars here. My detailer's over here disinfecting cars. He's essential for the public. And so I go to the officer. I go, do you disinfect your car? Oh, every night. I go, how do you do that? And he goes, I do wipe downs. And I go, how much did you pay for your filter? What filter? I go, your cabin filter. Do you change that too? How about your soft surfaces? How are you cleaning that? Wipe down doesn't work on soft surfaces, sir. It doesn't work in all your vents and everything. We have an $8,000 steam machine that can do that for you and make it safe for you to get in your cruiser. And
you upsold the officer that was trying to shut you down.
Absolutely. And then he looked at me and he's like, I don't really want to do this. And he's like, they're making me do this. And I go, okay, what about if we're doing work for body shops and mechanics? He goes, let me find out from my supervisor. I'll call you back. He left, calls me back. He says, yes, you can work for body shops and other essential, if it's part of their process of getting that vehicle back on the road. So basically it was not doing cosmetic things, but getting the vehicle on the road. So,
all right. Right on. Good job, Daniel.
No,
that's awesome.
So what's the deal? Are you still closed or are you open?
I'm friggin' open. I ain't friggin' closing. I'll take the fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm rebellion. I'm starting a rebellion. Join the Rebellion Alliance.
Well, here's my deal. I'm open, but I'm very cautious about advertising it and that I'm open. People are contacting me. Are you open? Are you open? Yes, absolutely. If they're contacting me, but if they're, the reason being is I went and looked at my business license that I did for the city friggin' 6 years ago. And
renewed it.
No, I renew it every year. However, looking at it, it's like they didn't have anything for paintless dent removal, right? There was no category for paintless dent removal. Right. So they put me under. Shop. No, they put down services other.
Oh.
So
they could pull you on a technicality.
they could pull me on that because it says services other. It's not essential. You know, we all know PDR is not essential to getting your car back on the road.
So I think I put myself, I want to say it was either auto detailing or auto body. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, you might want to check that because if it's auto body, you're good.
I know.
Hudson, what are you seeing there in Texas? I mean, I'm up in the boonies, so we know I'm good. But you guys, you're out of Houston area. How's it there?
I can tell you that I have. I know in Houston City proper, some of my the salesmen at my Porsche and Lamborghini dealer on their way into work did get pulled over and had to show like we're an essential worker paper. So I know 2 salesmen that got pulled over for that in Houston City proper. But in up here where I'm in, I'm 1 county up in Montgomery County. It's almost like business as usual. The only thing that, like I said, the only thing different is people are wearing masks still. Don't get me into that.
And not as many people out, right?
Do what?
Not as many people are out, right?
No, there is. I still have traffic.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're a little bit like pew, pew, Texas, come and take it. Like we do what we want. No government's going to tell me what to do. Kind of out here.
That's right.
Like, I'll tell you what, like the local Domino's out here, when Trump won, they were selling Trump pepperoni pizzas where like the pizza spelled Trump and pepperonis. That's how conservative it is around here.
That sounds good.
They don't even do that around here.
How about you, Vince? You guys had Huntington Beach was like protesting yesterday, I saw.
Yeah, Huntington and Long
Did you go
Beach.
down there and join the protest?
No, I'm social distancing. The beach has not closed in Huntington Beach. The surfers have been out there ever since day one. Now, Orange County is pretty red?
Mm-hmm.
However, last election year was the first time Orange County actually went blue. But anyways, it's not business as usual at all. There's no traffic, but there's more people on the road.
I was surprised that there was protesting at Huntington Beach. Of all places, I wouldn't think of that. Do you think it was because they're arresting surfers and closing beaches everywhere else?
Yeah, well, LA County, they were arresting surfers and closing beaches.
But why would they protest?
Why?
Huntington Beach is Orange County, so that's a different county.
But
I mean, isn't surfing as socially distant as you can freaking get?
Yeah,
Yes.
but you're not really. You go around in pods of people, waiting for
I
your
get
wave.
that, but like if you're out there by yourself just surfing, I don't see. All right, anyways,
No.
All right, my text is about to come out.
Yeah, you have to get to the water somehow, and you're going to cross a beach that's closed. In LA County, Orange County, they're open, but they're keeping it on the down low. I think that's most of it is like, hey, you want to get away with something? Don't freaking blast it out there that you're getting away with something. My PDR business is down 80%, but my paint department is down 40%. So I'm, where I'm losing my money, I'm not losing it as badly and not bleeding out on the paint department. I think that's the main thing a lot of these guys should be doing with their businesses right now. Because I know I added my paint department in 2008. And if you guys are down and not doing anything, you should really think about adding some type of service into your repertoire. Because
what you're saying is you have a business that's diversified and has a diversified client base so that you're not relying upon one customer base?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you mean you have a really set up, solid business that's for sale that someone could come in, turn key, and make a lot of money right off the bat?
Yeah.
If you were selling it, hypothetically, if you were selling it?
Yeah, hypothetically. Oddly enough, I've had a lot of traffic in the last 2 weeks for potential buyers. It's crazy.
That's
Good.
Good.
So it's
good to hear.
Yeah.
Well, we're staying busy out here. The shop I'm at, I wasn't there since first of the year, but they've said that they've slowed down, but we're staying really steady. But we won't know the following week. Like I didn't know about this week coming up until Friday at around 10:30 in the morning that I was going to be working. So it's not like it's that booked out in advance. So it has slowed down. We're on the tail end of a monster storm. So I'm getting a lot of warm up. Last week I was exhausted. This week I feel a lot better, but last week was tough. First week back, took some really monster beat hail. I've got some photos and videos I'll be doing next week. And then I'm just gearing up for doing my own thing at my house.
That's good because like last week, if you guys had listened to last week, we had Hail Trace on the podcast, and he was talking about April being exceptionally well, and it turns out, not to divert it or anything, but it looks like there's hail going through the Midwest again. That was the exact same swath of storms as last week. We're recording this on
his model was right on, right?
Yeah. And then this model is like almost the exact same model as last week. And so hopefully you guys are all safe and everything, because there was tornadoes that went through last week and this week as well. But yeah, check out Hail Trace and check out our last podcast, episode 215, where we talk about that and the models that are available on Hail Trace.
And you can watch that. We did video that one, so you can see Derek's screen shares where he's talking about and showing their models and their predictions. So you don't just have to listen to that one. You can actually watch that one and see all of our ugly mugs.
That's the thing, because we are a podcast. So 99.99999% of the people that listen to us on a weekly basis, which is in the hundreds, if not thousands, they actually they listen to us. They don't watch us. So this is an opportunity to go back and see us, our ugly mugs, like John said, because those numbers are really small. I don't think people like looking at us.
Yeah. Yep. So
yeah. You know what? Let's call Dan Ottrop, because I know PDR Contractors is up and running now, big time, because there's storms and all you guys. You don't want to do it throughout the year, but you do want to do it during hail season, right? So, what do you guys think? Should we call Dan and get an update?
And while we're doing that, we're going to be talking about, strangely enough, PDR tools. We all have some show and tell today, and so we'll be doing that after this call. Hopefully as soon as.
And in the meantime, man, I tell you what, I've been using the CBD oil. I just put in another order this morning from cbddirectoils.com. And don't forget, put in that code PDRTT when you order from them.
Don't they have a sale
they're one of
going
our
on
show sponsors. What's that, Hudson?
I said, don't they have a sale going on right now as well?
Yeah, they have a big sale going on all of their products. So yeah, I put in another order. That's how I got through my first week back doing bad hail, man. I had to have it. I was weenie. I look like I'd been typing on a keyboard for way too long. That's how it looked.
Yeah. Well,
good morning.
Hey, there's Dan Ottrop. How are you
doing, guys? I'm doing well.
Good. Yeah. Hey, did you survive the storms that have just come through?
Well, they're not to me yet, but I'm all the way in East Tennessee. It looks like everything's going to be a little south of us this weekend, hopefully. But, yeah, it looks like some twisties are going to be popping up. The clouds have cleared out, and the sun is out full strength. So
nice. So a beautiful day in the Tennessee Valley.
It is right now, yeah.
Sweet. So now that hail has hit and we got some good storms going on, what's going on with PDR Contractors? We're all assuming it's blowing up at this point.
Yeah, the traffic has gotten busy. I was just looking at the number this morning. I'm actually personalizing a contract template package as we speak for a member right now. So, somebody just purchased a contract template package to solidify a deal. So we're getting them all hooked up and getting that turned and burned to them so they can have it quickly and efficiently. So that's good. The month of April, we've had 13 new member signups. So we're averaging just under one a day, new member signups.
Nice.
And the traffic on the site has been really strong. Last month and in March, before really hail season kind of got going, we had over 8,000 visits to pdrcontractors.com.
Yeah.
So we're trending over 250 visits a day to the website. And many of those are direct lead generation for the members. So.
Very sweet.
And real quick, can you give a brief description of those contracts that you talked about first? So for people that are new and listening in, explain that just a little bit, please.
Yeah, so PDR Contractors offers members members only, the ability to purchase a contract template package. And what it is we personalize these documents that were created to help minimize liability and make sure you and your subcontractors get paid, and the deal doesn't change after the handshake agreement. Just to do business on the up and up. So we personalize these free retainer general service agreements. There's 2 different general service agreements. They're both 4 pages long. They have, I'm looking at one right now, 25 different provisions. Personalized the PDR industry. They've been proven and tested in multiple states, by me and some other companies, and they work great. And it also comes with a compensation agreement between you and your subcontractors, or vice versa, and a non-compete disclosure, just to make sure everybody's on the same page. And we offer those for $1,749, one-time purchase price. And you can, once you have those documents, like I said, they're yours, and you can use them hundreds of times, hopefully. So it's built for local companies, especially, to hopefully implement them and get them in place before a catastrophic hail event. But, if they haven't done that before the event, we really hope they do it as they're securing the deal, just to make sure everyone gets paid.
And they're great from what I was looking at. The other thing, too, that I wanted to remind our listeners is, if you are on PDR Contractors, make sure you mark yourself available to work, and where you are, right? That's really important right now.
Yeah, and it's super easy to do with the app. So if you guys haven't downloaded the mobile app, please do so. It's no extra cost. So we don't charge 99 cents or $4.99 or anything like that. It's free. Download the app, put in your username and password, and then it's as easy as the click of 1 or 2 buttons to update your current location, and if you're available for work or not. If you're not available for work, just please go on there and uncheck that box. And if you're not traveling, don't worry about it. But try to keep those business options up to date. It helps everybody out, especially local PDR companies that are recruiting subcontractors. I had a couple guys call me this week, just to walk them through the process on how to efficiently do that. So I do know for a fact that local PDR companies are using our database to fill those slots, and it's just going to become more and more as these storms ramp up over the next couple months.
Nice. Now, what I'm understanding is this, just really quick about the contracts. That's a one-time purchase, and then you have access to those contracts pretty much for a lifetime?
Correct, sir. Yeah, one-time purchase price. So our objective is, I think most of the industry would agree that it's really frustrating when especially local companies have a good, solid connection with accounts, and after especially a hail event hits, they lose those accounts due to companies coming in and offering bigger percentages to those vendors. What we're promoting is to get out in front of that, be proactive, have those discussions with your clients in the off season, and just come to an agreement that you guys are comfortable with. And then just let them know that you're going to service them the way you always have. And these are the terms of agreement. And if that client does not want to sign those general agreements, then that's fine. If it hails, you know that they're going to be shopping you, and you don't have to pay as much of attention to them as maybe you would if you had a contract set in place before. So we just want to protect those local companies. So when you purchase it, like I'm doing right now, I'm going in and personalizing the documents with this company's business name, all their information, their contact information, their phone number, their address. These documents look like yours. It doesn't look like you went to LegalZoom or PDRcontractors.com or anything like that. Yeah. They look like your documents. So, gotcha. And then once they're yours, they're yours. You get them in a PDF form, and all of the percentages and payment dates and completion dates and signatures, all of those items are left blank. So we don't tell you how to structure your deals. We don't tell you how to do business operations. That is all on you guys. So, okay. It's totally up to you on how you want to close those deals.
All right, Dan, I got a perfect scenario for you for PDR contractors. Tell me what you would do. say I'm a technician and I do wholesale work and let's say just Houston, like North Houston. Mm-hmm. And it just hailed today. And I hate hail damage. I friggin' hate it. Yet, and my phones, I have a retail business here and my phones are ringing all the friggin' time. And really a lot of people don't fix hail damage here in Houston or whatever. Or I think maybe it's only a $2,000 a day, one car a day type of scenario. Isn't there plenty of guys out there that would want to just sit in one place and do one car a day and make $2,000 a day, or no?
I would think there would be a whole truckload of them.
Exactly.
If not, then,
he just
people aren't living in the real world.
Be having guests.
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah. So absolutely. I mean, if you're a local company and, I've heard from guys before that, they just don't want to mess with it because it really puts a wrench in their daily operations, and it's short term, which I totally understand. But as a local company, I think it's in your best interest to capture those cars if those phone calls are coming. And even if you don't perform the work, jump on PDR Contractors, vet a subcontractor that you can bring in that's totally happy with the situation, and treat them fair and let them do their job and work as a team. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to give, I would say we would all agree, in the hail side of the industry, the local technicians are not as well connected. So when an event happens, it's really easy to get overwhelmed quickly. And we just want to take that pressure off of those local companies.
All right, here's the last question for you before we get you out of here so we can get on. Mm-hmm. All right, so it does, Vince was being silly and talking about basically alluding to me. So here's the deal. I am a PDR contractor member. So is it possible for me to go there? Because there's a lot of special scenarios I got to deal with. Basically, someone's willing to be by themselves in a stall alone, working on one car a day, and basically run an entire shop themselves. They do all the estimating and they do all the working and everything. And they're willing to give a percentage to the person the local guy whose body shop it is. Am I able to go on there and search for someone who's willing to do that? Can I click some boxes to say hey, you have to be willing to estimate, use standard matrix or DRP matrix, all this stuff. I can go and select all that, and it'll populate people who are out there willing and ready to work.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we want any subcontractor to look like your employee. So Hudson, if you had a storm in Houston, we want them to be able to put on a Dent Gents t-shirt and look like your employee. But that you've had them on staff for years. It's going to make that vendor and client or retail customer feel that much better about your business operations. So in that, I'll give you a perfect example. What I do is when, I'm looking for guys on storms for my hail damage repair company, I'll do that exact same thing. I'll put in a zip code wherever that storm's at. I can put in a search radius miles of whatever I want, whether it's 100, 250, 500 miles. And I can go through and filter out those technicians. So for me, in that scenario, I would select hail technician, somebody that's willing to perform their own R&I if asked. They're available for work, willing to travel. They have storm management experience where they can handle those expectations you just set forth. Me personally, I like to have guys that have general liability and workers' compensation, so I would check those two boxes. And then
awesome.
You said you use Mobile Tech RX for electronic estimating, so you would absolutely check the Mobile Tech RX box. And you only want to hire somebody that's familiar with that system that can jump right in, like I said, and put your t-shirt on, look like your employee. So what that would instantly do is take, maybe 200 members in that search radius and drop it down to 22 within 15 seconds. And then if you wanted to sort it out even further, you can, instead of distance at this point, you could switch it over to experience level, and it'll automatically rearrange those 22 members based off years of pushing.
So it's the auto trader of hail techs.
That's the easiest analogy. And then if those members have their profiles up to date and all filled out, you're going to see their bio. You're going to have hyperlinks to their website,
That's awesome.
Their email, their Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Google reviews, Yelp reviews, and there's also a spot to put references. So each member can add up to 3 references. What I suggest is use a reference from the PDR industry, use a reference from the collision center or body shop you service, and then maybe use a reference from a wholesale or dealership. If you don't have any of those, use all the Dent guys, use body shops, whatever. But we want you to be able to find those technicians quickly and efficiently within seconds.
Awesome. Dan, thanks so much, man, for coming on, letting us know. I'm hoping more people sign up and utilize this. I I think you just kind of convinced me that if I do there was some hell that fell around me, and I was like not happy about it. But now I think now talking to you and having Vince do his thing that he usually does, I think maybe I can
guilt you into stuff.
Yeah. So thanks, Dan, man. You have a great one. All right. Have a great Sunday.
Yeah, you guys too, man. Be safe out there.
All right. Thanks, Dan.
Later.
All right, thanks, Dan.
All right.
Yeah,
bye now.
sure.
So going down that line, just so you know, I did hear from the MTRX crew, and they are doing final rounds of testing of credit card within the app. So as we're getting into that hail season for you guys that are wanting that, it sounds like that is getting pretty close.
That's awesome. That's
Can't wait.
That's really good. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about tools because we are tool time, right? And
And John's ordering tools now.
John is back ordering tools.
John's in the game.
It's such a relief making that first order.
Yeah. Well,
It's like we all been playing poker, and he's been sitting there just watching the table.
I've been the announcer, and Daniel's got a pair of aces.
you know what's really cool too, guys? I don't know if you noticed, but with our little thing that we have going on for the PDR tool companies to buy tools, for us technicians to buy tools, we're not really calling it a contest. It's raffle.
Not really a contest.
So I'd love going back and looking at all the tools that people are buying. You know what I mean? It's kind of
you get to see trends.
exactly what people are buying. You know, it's cool.
Yeah. And it's that's when I see somebody else buying it, I usually like to find out why. What's the scenario? Because sometimes I look at a tool and I don't think I'd be able to use that. But when you have a conversation, I've been doing that at MTE for years. Hey, what'd you buy and why? And they give you a scenario and you're like, yeah, I never thought of it that way. And that's great.
Well, heck, I was showing you guys something that I bought from PDR Finesse this week and already got in the mail. And then John went right on while we were talking before the show and bought it himself.
Why don't you just start with that? Show everybody.
Let's start with that. So that's the PDR Finesse 3/8 R4 cherry cap tip. This thing's 3/8 in diameters. Hudson showed it. He's holding it up now. It'll fit through a 1/2-inch hole. That's what I needed for several tools that I already use daily. So
that tip looks a little bit big for an R4. Is that?
It's a little bit longer than your traditional R4.
No, but the tip looks.
The ball on it. The ball.
No, the ball
looks so big because the overall diameter is smaller than the rest of the R4 cherry cap tips.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
So, it's only 3/8 wide at its widest point, so it'll fit through those 1/2-inch holes.
Wait,
I got that
confused.
at PDR Finesse, and I'm loving it.
Hey, show that again for a second.
I'm confused.
The threads machined into it.
It seems that way. No, I'm looking closer.
I'm confused, guys. While you're figuring that out, why doesn't your other tips fit in like that hold the R4?
The Dingcraft ones are too big. You have to have larger than a 1/2-inch hole, or you have to
wallow out the hole.
Gotcha.
But I try not to do that because I don't want a taillight getting sloppy in the clip hole. I take a lot of pride in not doing two things. I don't drill and I don't destroy all the holes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. That's why I'm confused because I don't really drill holes. So that's why I'm like, oh, well, doesn't a normal fit in there?
I take their tips, I put it in the drill, and then I put it on the get ready to hit the button.
Oh, hold on. Go.
Bench grinder.
Okay.
Yeah. And then sand on the shoulder, and then you've got a 3/8 tip.
So I will drill if the customer is okay with it. I let them know all the this, that, and that. They want to pay for me to take things apart or put an access point that I then fill with silicone and a plug. Then there you go.
Do you paint your holes?
Do what?
Do you paint them?
I put silicone.
See, I paint all mine.
All right. I paint
silicone.
mine, Daniel.
Don't use silicone. That's rust enhancer.
It covers. It makes it watertight.
Yeah, with the rust behind it, because there's if you smell your silicone, it smells like vinegar, which is an acidy base. It's an acid base which causes rust. So
I'm just doing what I was trained to do, Vince.
I know. Right? Well, that's Wade Hartley's old way, and that's how old Dent Wizard guys were trained, but not anymore. They do not put silicone.
So
that's why we don't drill holes, because of Dent Wizard.
So paint the hole instead of using silicone. Tech tip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And I'd like to add a little something to that. We just had a rig come back into our shop this week that was fixed years ago, where they pulled the third brake light out to do the top of the gate on a Subaru. And they had the rod and it was metal on metal, and they stripped the factory paint along that seam back there and didn't bother to touch it up. Now that is rusting and bubbling all the paint underneath that third brake light now. Now, see, I paint everywhere, and it's just something that I've always done, but there's the reason why. That's a third brake light. That's way up in the air, but it's still.
And I do paint those. I paint those, like, so the ones that are pre-existing holes that I scrape the metal on, I just keep standard black and clear, and I'll recoat it so that it's not exposed anymore. But typically when I plug, I do the thing, but I'll just painting's actually easier than silicone.
It's just good practice, doing things right.
Yeah, but honestly, the silicone is terrible.
How much was that tip?
I think this tip was like $15. I went and bought from all three companies, and it was really hard because I already own so many freaking tools. People tell me all the time I have too many tools. I'm like, what is that even? What is it coming out of your mouth?
Right?
Do you hear yourself?
Do you need that kind of negativity in your life?
I don't. Actually, I need a bigger van now. I'll grow I need a mattress. But yeah, so I got this with a really long. I don't have a longer tool that accepts multiple tips. So PDR Finesse had a pretty great double bend that receives tips, and so I bought that. And then
how long is that thing?
I think 51 inches.
It's long. Very long.
Very long. Very, very long. So
I got to tell you guys, I'm going through the PDR Tool Time Facebook page now, while we're doing this, trying to get a really good idea of all the receipts that were posted. There's no one, everybody's ordering just all sorts of stuff. None of the glue is even the same, different random tips. We don't have a solid trend that, like a bunch of people are ordering this particular tool. It looks like everybody's just gearing up on the stuff that they need just to make life better. And
let's see, I went and bought that from PDR Finesse. I bought the Grom J hooks with the weld tails on the end.
Yeah.
And guys, those are not flimsy.
Not PDR Finesse, the Blem.
Blem, yeah, with Blem. At Blem, I bought the Grom J hooks.
Right.
Okay, so that's what I brought from Blem. And then on Anson, I went and bought a couple other things. I bought a bridge for my edge pliers.
Yes. Oh, that's
I've heard y'all talk about that so much. I'm like, well, might as well get it now.
That makes that tool 100 times better.
Yeah, and then I got the tequila R4 cherry tip, because I don't think you can have enough cherry tips, like the R4s.
Yeah,
because R4s are like the 10 millimeters of the tip world.
Right.
They just disappear on you.
They are. I totally agree with you. I probably have like 8 sitting around R4s, maybe more, 10.
And then when you look for one, you're like, where the hell is my R4 tip?
No.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
No, I'm extremely organized, and the only tool I ever lose are cheap Harbor Freight flashlights, which is buy them from Harbor Freight.
Yeah, I got that, and then I did get. Yeah, I got a couple of those things. So I'm excited, guys. We have an announcement for what our next week's tool companies are going to be.
Yeah, Daniel, take it away, son.
Who we got?
Well, we're going to be featuring Carbon Tech, and they're going to be doing free shipping on all your Carbon Tech, and which is perfect for hail season because everybody should have a Carbon Tech hail rod if you're a hail chaser. Number one, and now they have their new hood stand with the hard top option. I think it's an option, right, Vince?
Yeah. Is it available?
Oh,
it was supposed to be soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if
chip, Mr. Todd.
But you can,
anyways,
you can get the stand and then order that separately later if they don't have it in stock right now or whatever.
Yeah.
And I have heard to go along with that is someone put a filler out, a question out there on one of the PDR pages asking, like, is everyone doing people doing larger damage during the pandemic right now? And a lot of people answered like, yeah, they're just doing smash after smash. It seems to be the only thing that's coming in, not a bunch of door dings. And right now, Carbon Tech does have that new hustle stick attachment that I got sent. I used, and it made me a believer. I did not care much about the hustle stick. I didn't really get it. I was like, Daniel, why do you talk about this stupid thing so much? And he's like, well, I'm going to send you one, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay. And he sent it to me, and I used it, and it was. I pulled out a dent that was probably 2 feet wide by 1 foot tall, and I could have pulled it out with my pinky. It made it so effortless.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got huge leverage. It's quicker and easier to use than a bridge or a K-bar. It just, to me, it's my I use it every single day. And the cool thing about it is this is the prototype, but I just finalized this prototype. So see this little end piece.
It's a square. It's a square inside of a circle.
Yeah,
a square female end on the end of that. What's the square for? It looks like it's what, ½ inch or a little larger.
No, it is ½ inch. Yeah. So this is designed to fit in a floor jack from Harbor Freights. Their smallest floor jack that they sell normally sells for $79 on sale. You can find it on sale. They have weekly sales all the time. You can find it for $59. So we were designing a separate tool for this, and our hard cost on it was going to be $100. So it was going to be too expensive. And Todd came up with this idea. Hey, what if we used a floor jack? So normally you have a rubber foot on the end of this, and that makes it so you can leverage off of a tire, or bumper or anything like that. Whatever you got on the front fenders and the rear fenders. The problem was getting between the two doors and finding leverage. So in comes a floor jack, and you take that floor jack, put it up against the frame of the car, and this replaces the handle. So now you have this trick aluminum floor jack with a carbon fiber handle, and it looks really badass. And it just holds your hail rod, and then you can just click it and pull it out and put your hail rod in, use it as your hail rod, and then put it back in the holder. So it kind of does double duty.
Yeah, because that was my biggest beef with it.
This allows you to, do in between the doors and get leverage anywhere on any car.
And pretty solid leverage when you're bracing off the car that you're pulling on.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. That was a great idea.
And it works really well.
So we have Carbon Tech. That's Carbon Tech, and what a couple things they have there.
Oh, well, hold on. They're going to, I'm going to be sending them, they're going to have these available. Now there's going to be limited number of it. So this is a custom kit I made up from Cam Auto, and it's basically all the Cam Auto stuff that I use. They sent me a bigger kit, and I didn't use everything they had in there. And this is all the stuff that I did use. So I had them make these for Carbon Tech, and he will have these available. It has basically their gray Monster tabs that I use every single day on Monster Dents. It has the side pullers, these big red things. So
that's whenever you have when you have a buckle on the metal, and instead of pulling out, you're pulling to the side. You're pulling at it.
The challenge with this is there's no tools out there that allow you to pull that way, except for the hustle stick.
Except what?
The hustle stick will do it.
Oh,
yeah, it's true. So basically, we've got the Daniel Grom grab and smash bag from Cam Auto to go with the hustle stick,
and it comes with this hook that you put on your chain for the hustle stick. And so this again is another tool in the PDR industry it's the only tool out there that you can use your Cam Auto stuff with.
I was figuring out, why did you send me that stuff? I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this shit?
I will say this.
Erector set.
I did make my money back on my first job with the hustle stick, because it is a bit pricey. It's $350, but the machining on those things are pretty much perfect, turnkey. And, but think about this. We always say, when we buy a tool, we justify it by, when we do it, you buy a tab and you fix one dent, it's paid for itself. Well, when you're using this on a big smash, your price should be over $800 at a minimum, I think, and it's already paid for itself. Yeah, absolutely.
So
not only that, but it's also, if you have the carbon Tech rod, it's an attachment that you're adding. So, when your Carbon Tech rod is sitting up on a shelf and there's no hail damage, it gives you another avenue of revenue off of that tool.
Also, I don't know how I know this, but it also fits on the Dent Stuff large rod.
Oh,
FYI.
Nice.
It does fit on the large Dent Stuff rod.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, we did that at MTE. Showed that on the Dent stuff rod.
Yep.
Nice.
So
right,
next,
who else we
what
got
is the next? Johnny boy, I know you're most excited about the next company because you've got a pretty big order to fulfill. What do you got?
That's right. So Kiko is going to get involved with this and offer free shipping using the code. What's that code, Hudson?
PDR tool time, all lowercase and no spaces.
All right, PDR tool time. It's going to be free shipping on everything that they have. And yeah, this goes right along with what Daniel was talking about. I myself am gearing up to be doing large damage. So I'm going to be ordering the entire Kiko level 1 glue pole collision kit. It's been on my want list. I just haven't had a need for it. But now that we're doing this with the code, I'm throwing it in there and I'm getting it ordered.
Put that on the screen. Share your screen.
So, and
are we videoing this? Are we going to release a video for this?
Yes.
Okay.
We are?
Yep. Don't pick your nose.
So yeah, this whole,
and that's the kit I have. That's the kit I have, John, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's
what were you telling us earlier about this kit, John, that you discovered?
So if I tried to piece out, like there was a few things I didn't need. I didn't need the heat gun. I didn't need the glue or the glue gun or the remote thermometer or any of the cases. So it's like I tried to piece it all together, and by the time you put all the tabs in, it's more expensive than buying the whole kit. So just the kit is pricey. It's $16.99 right on their website. But I intend to do a lot of really big smash stuff. And last week we were doing a smash cab corner, and we could have really used that mini bridge on a cab corner of the pickup. It would have come in very handy for that.
Yeah, Vince didn't believe in the mini lifter on the mini bridge, and we had to put them, set them straight.
So I'm really looking forward to getting this going. I'm hoping as the summer progresses, I'm going to have some video and photos of my stall here at my house. My company is going to be renting my garage, and I'm building an entire PDR studio out of a 20 by 30 bay or a 20 by 40 bay, turning it into nothing but motorcycle PDR and large damage stuff. So I'm probably going to be cutting in some floor pots too. And
nice.
I'm going to be working with a lot of glue stuff and working on a new power puller for being able to apply power that will be power pulling when you're doing these big smashes, and then you're using that the hustler to help finish off what you're doing and get some good stuff. So I'm hoping to get that going all this summer.
We were talking to Vince. I think we should definitely mention it here on the podcast. Why you would need that mini bridge versus the large bridge, and what areas that mini bridge is really going to come into play.
Yeah.
Well, you use it quite a bit, don't you, Hudson?
Yeah. I use it because if you're working on a lot of trucks, especially, that mini bridge is going to be where you have tight metal areas like rails, cab corners, and like the tops of tailgates. So anywhere you got rolled metal, essentially, right, John?
Yeah.
Where you're going to really need, like, because with that longer bridge, that metal, that aluminum's going to flex a little bit more, not give you as strong of a pull. But with that shorter throw, I don't know if throw is the correct word, but that shorter
distance,
that shorter distance there on that mini bridge, you're not going to have as much flex. So it's a much stouter pull, and it's going to pull that hard rolled metal.
See, we were doing a tight spot right on the bottom of a body line of a Ram pickup, right on the cab corner. And Chad was just having to wail on it with a slide hammer because that's all we had at the shop. Yeah. And ultimately, he couldn't get it pulled as clean as he would have liked. And now the hog glue, we used root beer. We had root beer glue on a tab, and it wasn't letting loose, but he couldn't quite get it all the way. Whereas we needed a steady, constant pull with either the hustle stick or that mini bridge. And I'm not even sure if the hustle stick would have been good enough for this particular spot because it needed a lot of pressure and to relieve that tension inside the door area. So that's where this little mini bridge is the kicker.
The one thing I'd say that I really like is Kiko's new electric attachment.
You're like one of two people in the world that has that. You can't talk about that yet.
Yeah, it's still a prototype.
Yeah, you're still Captain Rare.
Man, that thing is awesome.
I'm just going to tease the whole world. I'm the only one of two that has it.
Yeah.
Myself and John Florin in Holland.
Yeah.
No, Tim Chase has it. Tim Chase has it too.
Okay.
So all right, so everything on that Kiko. So for your tabs, Carbon Tech, man, this is gear up for that hail season, and for you doing the big smashes. I mean, here we got two key companies for those of you doing big smashes: Carbon Tech and Kiko. Now, who's our third company for next week?
Well, 1 second there, John. I think Kiko also makes tabs that accepts like O-ring attachments, so you can use that hustle stick with those Kiko tabs. It's not just Cam Auto tabs that go with that hustle stick.
That's right. They do have a metal O-ring tab in here. Let me get them found, and I'll put them on here.
Yeah. So if you're doing big smash stuff and you're just a Kiko guy or whatever, and you're just used to that, or you already have them, you'll know Kiko does have those.
Are you talking about that blue T slot with the round?
Now, hang on. I'll put them up on the screen.
No, they have like huge circular, oval, square tabs, and right in the center is basically a thread, and you can thread in either.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They
you
got
can
the steel eye bolts.
Yeah, so that you can pull. You could use a. You could use Kiko stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about them.
So
they got a full kit. It's a full kit of super tabs running their basically forged eye bolts through them. And then you can do them long, steady, hard pulls, which is really the key to big damage, man.
160, that's a steal.
Hey, what do you guys use in glue wise, Daniel, on the big stuff? Are you still using your hog glue, or you moved on to? Because me personally, I do not care for the Cam Auto glue. It's too brittle and rigid, and it takes forever to set up.
Honestly, I break it out when I really have to, because it's just not user friendly. It takes a long time for it to dry, and it doesn't come off very good.
I have the opposite.
But actually, Craig just sent me some prototype glue, and I called him yesterday, and I'm going, "Yeah, this is great stuff."
I got that glue too. I haven't had a chance to. I need work to use it
yesterday, and it works.
I'm going to be testing it.
So I have Cam Auto, and I have the Tequila Collision glue, and I like them both. And that's like, if I have a mini bridge that's going to be pulling up some really stiff metal, I'm going with Cam Auto. I'm going to let it set for 2 or 3 minutes, get really dry, and then I'm really just going to yank it. Not yank it.
If you got something that's locked up, it's pretty freaking strong stuff. I mean,
yeah. But what are you using every single day? What's your everyday go?
I'm using Hog. It works, 80-90% of the time.
I'm Hog and Tequila Blue, and
Tequila Blue or
turquoise. Sorry, the turquoise
or the tracks.
No, that's long gone. They still sell that, but it's the tequila turquoise.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tested out in 60-degree weather here the new tequila cold glue, cold weather glue. Not like
I have some of that coming as well.
I tried it out and it pulls fantastic.
It does.
I was getting fantastic pulls, and then it even got into the 80s the next day, and I still had the blue in there, and I was like, I'll just keep using it, and it still pulled in 80-degree weather just fine. So, and it all comes up in one piece. That's my thing. Is it when it gets cold, I do not like it when my glue starts breaking into a million little pieces.
Yeah,
that's why I went away with tab weld. Like tab weld was my go-to, but as soon as it dropped below, 65 degrees, it was like pick.
It's real brittle.
Yeah. And so tab weld's great and 70 and up, but as soon as it got below that, I was like, crap.
Yeah.
So
I've got Tequila Collision and Cold coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got a third company that we wanted to highlight as well, that they're graciously giving free shipping to anyone that puts in the PDR tool time, and that's Stucky Tools.
Yes, Carl. Good old Carl.
Yeah, man. Here's the deal about these companies, man. All the companies we use, they always give away free tools whenever we have a thing going on, and we're hoping, we recognize that and we give back to them during this time. And we're hoping next week we're going to have like a whole slew of people that of companies that always give as well that we can support, and we'll wrap it up after 3 weeks. But this week we've got Kiko, Carbon Tech, and Stucky. And I personally use the Stucky Hell Light. That is my go-to. I set it up in seconds. it's fantastic. You guys will laugh at me. I would do entire hell cars with my limited light. My limited like 14-inch.
I would do it too.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, because I was working with limited space for the longest time, and I didn't have any room to store a battery and a big light and whatever. I just wasn't used to it. But now that I have the Stucky light, I pull it out for almost every repair now.
Well, that's quite the savings if you think about it, because the Stucky light is big. It's not very heavy, but it does come with a battery. And so shipping on that, I don't know how much you pay for shipping, but I would think it'd be like $30 minimum,
something like
right?
that.
So, by going to StuckyTools.com and putting in PDR Tool Time in the promo code, you'll get free shipping on anything Stucky. Oddly enough, I still use my Stucky glue gun. It's the original. The battery is made of kryptonite, and it still works to this day. And
it's the same battery.
It's the same battery.
It's the same battery. So I have the Stucky XL and the Stucky glue gun and a third battery, and I just keep them both going all day long.
Yeah. Yeah.
All day. And don't forget that Stucky hole straightener.
Oh yeah. That's a big hit.
I was using that because the shop I'm at has one, and I've got the Kiko hole straightener. So we've got two companies that have the probably the best two hole straighteners on the market. And now the Kiko one is a little bit bigger. Doesn't fit in some of the smaller holes, and I was using the Stucky one to I had bent a hole on the inside of a fender, so I went in and straightened it out, and the Stucky was the only one that fit in there.
What's nice too on the Stucky is like on trim pieces, I had fender flares, and those are usually square holes. And for some reason, square holes, the Stucky one works better than my Ultra one.
The Stucky can also lock down on something.
Sure.
Yes.
So you can lock it down, and like say like I don't know if you ever got a really aggressive dent where it affects on the tops of a bed cap, right? You take the bed cap off. I don't know if you've ever had one of the rectangles get really walloped, and it's just, you could lock that down on there. You'd even hit the Stucky hole straightener with a hammer to knock it down and stuff like that. So it's just a little more versatile, has less of a footprint than the other hole straighteners. So, I mean, I like all hole straighteners, but I do use the Stucky because it's just right there on top of my cart and fits. I don't have to, screw it onto anything or anything like that. So
yeah, very compact footprint in your toolkit.
I've actually used it as a puller when you have a dent, like on a signal light, and you can clamp it on there, and then you take the hustle stick, you can pull with it.
Oh, that's absolutely right. This guy.
I'm not following you.
Hustle stick.
What are you talking about? Repeat that.
You can lock it down on a hole.
Yeah.
And you can then use the hustle stick to grab onto the end of the bolt and pull with it.
Okay.
And then you can pull the panel out using that hole straightener.
Yeah. I had a quarter panel that we had the bumper cover off, and it was all crushed in behind that bumper cover.
Gotcha.
And they have all these factory holes there.
Yeah.
And I was using it to pull. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say that I don't think I've ever bought anything from Stucky that didn't just impress me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, why did I wait so long to get a Stucky? It's like, I don't have a Stucky. I've always been a limited guy, like for my door ding light.
Yeah. For the mini light.
For the mini light. And I've been debating, man, should I get one? But like I own every single version of a limited door ding light. So I'm like, I don't need one, but I really I've always loved Stucky stuff. I'm like, man, maybe I should. I don't know. So.
Well, Stucky and Carbon Tech, Todd Zimmerman with Carbon Tech and Carl Stucky. The thing about them is they were techs in the field that built their tools as, to fill the need and avoid that they needed. So,
what's funny about all of them? The connection is Dent Wizard. They're all Dent Wizard technicians. Old Dent Wizard technicians too.
Well, no, what's great about having
and James
Carbon
Lee.
Tech,
Sorry,
and James Lee. What's great about having Carbon Tech and Stucky is what makes that Stucky light perfect is when you have the Carbon Tech Never Loose mounts. Because you use zero cords. I set up I pop my Stucky light off in a matter of 1 second. It comes off of the thing with the Never Loose. I don't even have to have the adapter on there. It just pops right off. And then I can break down everything in a matter. I even put a video up if you haven't seen it. There's a video on PDR Tool Time of me setting up and tearing down my light in less than 30 seconds.
Yep. Great combination.
Okay, let's move on because there's a couple other tools that you guys are going to talk about. I I got a report that I need to let you guys know about too. So covered the last two, Hudson.
The last two what?
Tools? Your declaration set.
Yeah. Okay. Because we're just talking a little bit about tools. I finally got to use the Saturn. I got it about a year ago. He let me use it, and the Saturn is by DD PDR Tools. They're all made in the USA. Everyone's all gung ho about buying USA right now. So DD PDR Tools. He's not one of our special, people we're highlighting, but that's that tool was fantastic. I finally got to use it. It sat on my cart for over a year. Literally, just sat there on top of my cart. I'm like, man, I cannot wait to use this. Finally used it. It's amazing. Jason Thrasher was working for me, and he was like, "That's going to break." I'm like, I don't think it is. And the way it's designed is that if you do not have, John, what would we call that? A door that has like a frame, a top frame?
Frameless. Well, it's a frameless door. So all you have is the pinch weld.
Yeah.
To hold on to, And
it clamps to the pinch weld, and you can put wherever you want. It has 2 pivot points, so it pivots front, back, side, and also it turns 360 degrees. So you have
Hudson, let's squish something really quick, because this comes up every single time these DD clamps get brought up. They just slide off and destroy the pinch weld. So for those of you who were never in the body business and never did heavy collision on frame racks, we used clamps, and the end of those clamps, you bolt the clamp on, but the end of the clamp is wedge shaped. So the harder you pull, the tighter it gets by spreading the back of the clamp and closing the jaws tighter, using the bolt as a pivot point. DD clamps do the exact same thing. So the more pressure you put on, the tighter it clamps onto that pinch weld. So no, they're not slipping. They're not sliding off.
Yeah.
They clamp tight.
I will say that is with a downward force. I think if you do start it, I've had issue with, they have another clamp that I have issue with it sliding on me. Yeah, it's the Grom one.
Yeah.
But
you had it mounted vertically, right? On the side?
Yeah, it's mounted on the side. And if you push at a perpendicular angle, where it's a straight force downward, where it's clamped from, away from the clamp, it works great. But as soon as you go at like a 30 degree away from the clamp, that's where it does slip and slide.
Yep.
But on a hill, when you do hail on a roof, you don't have to worry about that at all.
No.
So and that leads to Revolution PDR Tools. They sent me the declaration set at MTE. Well, they didn't send me, they handed it to me at MTE, and I finally got to really use it. I had about 2 foot of damage on the front fender of a Silverado. And you have to take off the entire front grille to get that headlight out. And man, all I had was 1 bolt in that thing, and it was rock solid. And it made that dent a breeze. I had all these different leverage points from multiple angles.
Daniel has one too, don't you?
Do what?
Sorry. Go ahead, Vince.
No, go ahead. I thought Daniel had one too.
What was that?
Come on, wake up, man. You're sitting over there at your desk.
Well, we just got done talking about it and how I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
The declaration set.
The declaration set I love. That's what I finally got to use.
Yeah, but aren't there 2 different sizes of the declaration set?
They have 2. There's one that's like maybe like a 4-inch by 8-inch thing with a bunch of different holes. And then they have one that looks like a ladder. That's like 2-inch by 6 inches. Okay. That's a ladder with
I know what you're talking about, Vince.
Okay.
Now, I have the Dentrix made something similar to that.
Oh, I thought
Dentrix version.
Gotcha. My bad. I thought you had the declaration set from what's his name?
Revolution.
Mitchell.
Revolution.
Mitchell, right?
I don't have it.
Jim.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so you found those pretty useful.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with it. I was like, man, this is going to be a bother to really put together, but it actually wasn't that much of a bother to set up and use. And once you had it set up, it was like a rock, did not move at all. So I was very impressed and very thankful with Michael Casper, the designer of that, sent that to me. And I was like, man, this thing's legit.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
I want it to be prettier though. If they're listening, I think the raw metal look, I think, anodize it or something, make it pretty.
Well, anodizing, hopefully it is anodized, because anodizing would make it stronger. Isn't that right, Daniel?
Yeah, it hardens the aluminum when they anodize.
Yeah.
Well, I want to anodize like a different color. I just think of colors.
Pretty blue.
I want it pretty. I want a pretty red one.
Gotcha.
Red.
Yeah.
And I know John wants God's color, green. So
yes.
And
okay.
John, you have one other set of tools?
So I also, as I said, I was gearing up to do big smashes and motorcycle stuff. So I have ordered the complete motorcycle PDR tools from Ultra. So I've got the whole kit in.
Haven't unwrapped it yet.
I haven't even unwrapped them. They're still wrapped because I'm still setting up the shop.
So what I want you to do is see that big round one you have there?
This one here?
All big and round.
Yeah. Use that on when you take out a tail light out of a truck.
Oh.
And you got a dent right around the edge of that tail light.
On the corner?
Coming down and then going back like this.
Yeah, because you got that big wide opening and people put a piece of block of wood in there to shorten the leverage. You don't have to do it with that tool. That tool works so good for that.
Yeah.
That's great. Because I usually use a dent dial in that area, but that'd be cool too, to come from the top.
I use a doodah.
Oh, the doodah would be great for that.
Yeah, the doodah. That's probably going to be on my list as well.
Yeah,
and then the final thing that I picked up gearing up for all of this stuff.
There you go.
Is Get a Grip strong arm. Now, this isn't the strong arm max. They do make one with one more segment in it, but for holding your heat gun, I mean, this is the strongest way of doing it. There's so much versatility in this.
Yeah, I have the XL and I love it. I used to have the James Lee Limited with his version of the lock line, and it did great, but it still, and I could have did exactly what I needed to do, but I just really love there's more versatility in that.
Yeah.
I wish Matt and James would get together and produce that with James's new oval suction cup, auto suction. You know, that would
be so much more expensive.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, but it'd be the perfect combo, man. It'd be the ultimate combo.
It would stick to everything, that's for sure.
I actually tried.
You don't want, if that thing drops with your heat gun on it, it ruins your heat gun.
I dropped it right on the paint of a car on Friday.
Oh my gosh!
I went to go take care of a customer, and then I got distracted, and I didn't come back for like a half an hour. And
that's
I come back.
your fault.
It was totally my fault, and I look on the ground. I'm like, son of a, damn it! So put a dent.
Heat gun, it's like dust.
Yeah, the filament on the inside. Well, no, my heat gun was fine, but I did put a dent in the car and a little smudge in the paint that I had to fix.
Ooh,
But you know a guy.
I know a guy. Well, the worst part was it was right at the edge of the friggin' the panel, so I had to pull out the edge pliers to fix the damn thing. wasn't an easy fix at all. So, all right. Well, listen, guys, we're kind of running out of time. Do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about?
Yeah, can I just say something real quick about?
Yeah, please.
I have the Lexo hail kit, and I love this. Let me see. Sorry.
Yep.
I'm crushing with that right now.
Yeah. So, guys say, well, what's the difference between that and these? It's the size.
Yeah.
So really small, and
that's small. That small one closest to you, Daniel, pop that one out. Yeah, that one right there.
Whip it out, Daniel. Whip it out.
Yeah, come on. Show it to me, big guy. Show it to me.
Whoa.
Yeah, see, I actually have an old glue tab that I have put together to be like that and stuck into a different slide hammer to have that small one. So this hail kit, and trust me, as a hail guy who said I had no use for cold glue, this hail guy is making a buttload of money with cold glue right now.
Really?
Right.
And you can use plastic tabs, but it sticks.
This would be way better.
Yeah.
It sticks way better. Just, and they lock down. That's the other thing I like down is because this screws.
Yeah.
It locks down where you have to kind of hot glue it to your slide hammer, which is a pain in the ass.
You got quite a bit of glue on that. Do you usually use that much glue on it?
I use about half that amount of glue.
Yeah, same here.
I have it wrapped all the way around, man, so that's not coming off.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
Well,
all right. And guys, here's a rig that gets done a lot. The sail panels on Yukons, Tahoes, and Suburbans. That is such a soft, silly little panel that cold glue just makes short work of that sail panel between the quarter glass and the back door right there. Just
but take that stuff serious, because I just pulled a big old chip of Bondo off of a car a couple days ago.
Do it.
And
heat is its friend.
Huh?
Daniel, do you heat yours up?
Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful heating up Glexo.
Why?
Because you will destroy it if you get it too hot. It does not like a lot of heat.
Now you just warm it up.
You just
Yeah,
warm
just
it.
let warm.
Just
Yeah,
flash
yeah.
it.
You just warm the glue, and you warm the panel just like you would hot glue. You know, your 70, 80 degrees
Yeah.
range,
Yeah.
right?
Well, when I was
just-
in Boston, John had we were fixing dents with him with Glexo for him, and I'm like, dude, what's wrong with your Glexo? I mean, it was falling apart and was everywhere, all over our fingers, and like this, you did something to your Glexo. He's like, what are you talking about? You know, in his good old wicked Boston accent. I'm like, you've done something to us. Even Don Kavanaugh was like, John, what'd you do to your Glexo? And it turns out that he was heating it up really hot, and it changes the composition of it. So, you know, Houston area, you might, you know, run into that as well down in your neck of the woods, Hudson. So be careful using it. That you don't.
You know
destroy
what?
it.
I think that just clued me into what was wrong with some of my original cold glue, why it wasn't working anymore. I might have heated it up too much.
Yeah,
So
I just flash mine with the torch. I take my little mini torch and I just flash across it in a couple of seconds, and then bam, on the panel and making the hard pulls.
Well, the good thing about it is,
sternly.
oh yeah, yes, you could do that as well. But that glue kit, it comes with the gray Glexo glue, which I have on mine, and that's what I'm waiting for a hot temperature day here in Southern California to actually use it. Because there's two temperatures in that hail kit. There's the regular black, and then in the other tube is gray. And
You know what? I didn't even know that. I didn't even open mine. I used
yeah,
the other. So
that is
so
great.
what's that? It's for hotter
Hot
weather?
temperature, correct? Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad you told me that.
Yeah. So if you open that up, it is a gray color, kind of like John's desk in the back where his cat sleeps on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. I did not know that. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
yeah, that's some good stuff to know about Glexo.
That's good. Two good tech tips, Vince.
Boom. All right, Vince, you got a announcement, and then we're wrapping it.
And we're out. Okay, so a lot of people have been talking about MTE. What's going on with MTE? MTE. What's going on with Vegas, Orlando? Is it going to happen? This and that. So here I have a public statement from Sheldon Kay, which is the director of MTE. And he says, I'm not worried about Orlando, but Vegas will depend on how much the city is open. Right now, Vegas is not open for business at all. It looks good right now, and I think we will be fully open by the end of May at the latest. But it is hard to promise anything right now. So that comes directly from Sheldon Kay, Mobile Tech Expo's director. So it is still day to day with them as well. So
You know, do you think the mafia is getting a little soft on strong arming the government or what? Man, they should be open right now by now.
I'm
Who,
sure
Vegas?
they got their stimulus checks just like all the other big businesses.
Oh, they're not pulling in their daily checks though.
all right. But if you
That's
think
crazy.
about Vegas, Vegas is not really, it's owned by the Mormon mafia now, right? The
There's a
Mormons own
Mormon
Vegas.
mafia?
Well, I wouldn't call them mafia, but the Mormons own majority of Vegas.
No way.
Shut up.
Yeah,
I didn't know
absolutely.
about this.
Absolutely. It's not the Italians anymore.
Isn't it like a sin for the Mormons? Like, isn't gambling a sin for Mormons?
Not making money off of the sinful people.
I gotta go talk to some Mormons now. I'm gonna go ask them.
You guys didn't know that. There's
No.
there's movies on that and stuff.
Next time they come to my door, I'm gonna ask them.
Okay. All right.
fellas.
All right. So,
All right, guys. I
wait,
think
hold
that
on.
brings
Hold
us
on. I need some outro music for our outro here.
But you had an announcement.
That was my announcement.
That
Wasn't it?
was the announcement.
Oh, okay.
All right, Daniel, take it away, Sunshine.
All right, guys. Get on the hail trail and level up those hail tools.
Don't do stupid stuff while you're on the road.
And I have one now. It's my family motto. I thought I'd share it here with everyone on a weekly basis. Embrace the crazy.
And keep it stiff. Thanks for listening, y'all.
See y'all.
Did I just say y'all?
You're already coming to a Texan.
Visit AnsonPDR.com for the largest selection for just about all your PDR tools, where you'll find hog glue and hog caps.
Mobile Tech RX, the app that helps you make more money.
Don't forget to grab your Magnatech mat, available at most PDR tool distributors. Thanks for listening.
Edgy Tools, it's the little things that make the big difference.
the king of useful doodads, making your job easier every day.